Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of The Corner Store. It's your boy Gerald Cadet, and what I'm gonna start doing is basically, I want to call it like maybe before Sunday Night Football reactions. So I'm recording this basically during Sunday Night Football, and it's basically me recapping just off the back first reactions, not really analyzing the games, just like my gut feelings and all that stuff, the stories that that's popped up in my head and whatnot. Damn, my glasses, man, all messed up. That's a funny story, but that's gonna be for like another episode, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I'm doing basically live, not live, but first thought reactions, and then hopefully later on in the week I go back, I review the film, I analyze, I do all that stuff, and I come back with a more prepared episode, if that makes sense, and then I preview the next week and whatnot. Yeah, there's that. So let's talk about what happened. And the thing is, I was gonna start doing this episode. I was gonna start recording, and I was prepping and recording. I was gonna start recording this episode, I should say, during this game, and I'm happy I didn't. I went upstairs to eat some dinner, and I found out that the Buffalo Bills down 24-3. At the time I started watching them, well, I finished watching them. It was 24-10. Josh Allen just ran, I believe it was a 15-yard touchdown to put the lead go from 21 to 14. So it would have been, it was at that time it was 24-10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buffalo Bills came back down 21 points in the fourth quarter, well, third and second half basically. So the ending of the third and the fourth quarter to get to overtime in Tampa Bay, a place that Tampa Bay hasn't lost since, I want to say, week 9 of 2020, and that was against the Saints, which ironically they play next week in Tampa Bay. However, the Buffalo Bills have trouble with the Bucs quarterback, Tom Brady. Tom Brady hasn't lost to the Bills since 2011. The Fitzpatrick game. You guys should know about that. Fitzpatrick came back. That was like his coming out party. Fitzpatrick's coming out party. Some things that I learned, or just like, there's some things that I've learned and like look back at that oh my goodness, my thing is just blowing up like I know people and whatnot. Get out of here with that. Anyways, some things that just, it's not even things that like that shocked me. More so, it's things that well, one thing has shocked me, but the other things is that it's strengthening my ideas about it. So the first thing I want to talk about is that Josh Allen, he's a baller. Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. We should all know that. That's not up for debate. It's not up for debate at all. Right? Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. But throughout this season, especially in the close games, I'll talk about this more in another episode because I want to focus on today's slate of games. But I'm starting to realize the more I'm looking at football in a different view instead of just being a fan, and now being more of an analyst and I guess analyst. I'll say analyst, right? What I'm learning more and more, football is merely related to basketball in sense, because my thought on basketball is one day you will face a team that is equally as good as your team, and it's up for you to just hand the ball off to your favorite to the best player on your team and see if your best player on your team is better than their best player on their team. And I believe that the NFL is more like that than not. Yes, you have there's a lot of variables to it, but at the end of the day, teams that are very evenly matched, can your quarterback outplay or outduel their quarterback? It's always that conversation. Is your quarterback gonna outduel their quarterback? Josh Allen can do that. Josh Allen, this is his second time that he's showing me that he could do that. The first time was, I believe, it was a Week 4 matchup against. Let me make sure. Let me see. Is it a Week 4? I believe it was a Week 4 matchup against the what's the name of that team? Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, and then today, even though he did not win the game, him leading and showing his team that he's willing to sacrifice his body, he ran for 109 yards today. I believe on 22 rushes, 109 yards. He was getting hit. He was getting sacked, hit, all the above. But he kept getting up, dusting himself off, making timely throws. Josh Allen is a dog. Now, the Bills, on the other hand, are not a good team. Not a good team. I know, guys, I haven't been here in a while, but I still have been watching very closely the NFL season. And what I see from the Bills is, yes, the Bills are basically bullies. We're gonna put it like that. The Bills are bullies, right? The Bills, and you see it on their record, the games that they blow teams out, the teams, especially at the time, because they blew out the Washington football team, which I'll kind of talk about them a little later. They blow the teams that are not that good out, which as a good team you're supposed to do. But when they play elite competition, it's a close game, and most of the times they do not win the game. Most of the time is more like 99% of the time. What is it about the Bills that makes them not a good team to me? The Bills, Buffalo. When you think about Buffalo football, when you think about the city of Buffalo, you think about a team that's gonna. Can I say this? You think about the Steelers. The Steelers is a gritty team. The Steelers used to be a gritty team because of their environment. Buffalo is a gritty city. Buffalo is a cold city. Two things that you always have to bring when you play football in cold areas is a defense and a running game. They have a defense. I'm really impressed with their defense. Tremaine Edmonds, Poyer, Micah Hyde, defenders like Russo, a bunch of players, right? But they have no running game. Your quarterback can't be your running back. At the end of the day, he's gonna end up getting hurt, and that's gonna mess you guys up for 2, maybe 3 years, or maybe the rest of the season plus another 2-3 years. So it's I watched the Athletic Football Show a lot. I've listened to the Athletic Football Show a lot recently, and then one of the things that they brought up in one of their episodes is the Bills constructed a track team, not a track team. Well, they did construct a track team, but what I was trying to say is they constructed a dome team, which I completely agree with. But the reason why they constructed this team is because another team that's an outdoor team that should be a defensive team and running game team, which, you know, because of their quarterback, the whole pendulum has changed, is the Chiefs. So this is what's going on with the Bills. The reason why, to me, the Bills are not a good team is because the Bills have succumbed to the Kansas City effect, aka more specifically the Patrick Mahomes effect, I should say. What is the Patrick Mahomes effect? What is the Patrick Mahomes effect? Since Patrick Mahomes has become the full-time starter of the Kansas City Chiefs, teams time and time again are trying to replicate their team into the Kansas City Chiefs to score, to keep up with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Only two teams haven't done that, in my opinion. I believe the Patriots have not done that, and the Tennessee Titans have not done that. Good on their part. However, even within their own division, the Denver Broncos are trying to change their team to a run and gun team. The Las Vegas Raiders, I was about to say Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders have done the same thing. The Chargers, they're kind of an oddball. I believe they're closer to the Chiefs, but even at times they mess themselves up by trying to beat the Chiefs too much, right? And the Buffalo Bills, because the Buffalo Bills lost in the AFC Championship last year, they're like, okay, we need to be able to score and keep up with this team. So let's ditch the running game and we're going to throw it. We have a quarterback with a big arm. You saw him on Monday Night Football. He was throwing balls accurately too, breaking oh man, a biology major, and I'm gonna get this wrong. I believe surface tension is when you do the pull thing. He's breaking the basically what I'm saying, he has a good enough arm that crossing winds aren't gonna affect his throws. That's all I was trying to say. But now, where is you're up by 2 touchdowns and you need ball control? Where is that now? You're gonna put that onto Josh Allen to do with his legs, and then also passing wise, they're not a West Coast offense, not a quick game offense, right? They're a 5-step drop, 7-step drop. Josh Allen's trying to let that thing. He's trying to let that bleep fly, So you don't have a running game. You're leaning on your quarterback for your running game, and your passing offense is not a quick game offense. Your best quick game receiver is Cole Beasley. Everybody else goes deep, and then Cole Beasley's there for your little check down. I think these playoffs will come down to defense and running game. Whoever has the best defense and the best running game will win the Super Bowl, because they're going to be able to stop you on key downs, and they will be able to control your time of possession, that your offense will be on the field. The Bills now have lost, I believe it's 3 of their last 4. They're now 7-6. It was hard for me in the beginning of the season to see a way that the Bills would not be AFC East champions, but I understood that the Bills are not ready to overtake the Patriots as many have thought they will, especially after last year's debacle in New England. I've always felt this way. The Patriots still are better than the Bills. Overall, I believe the Patriots are still better than the Bills. A lot of factors happened last year. The whole I'm not gonna say the whole pandemic. Players opting out, players having, being falling into the pandemic and not being able to be with the team so they could learn the offense or defensive schemes. So a lot of factors. And then this year, you see, the rookie quarterback, everybody else is back. Bill has his guys, a cohesive unit. In a game that was perfect for, well, it happened on the other side. A run heavy defensive game, a 1985 football game happened on Monday. The Patriots were able to adapt. The Bills were not able to adapt. Another thing I've learned, and I think this is a bigger conversation for all 32 teams. Things that you do I guess are deficient in, you could say, or what's another way I could say it? Things that you do that like may be minuscule at the time, or people don't harp on it at the time, because overall you're doing well. Overall, you're doing well. They will come back to bite you, and if you don't fix it when it first happens, you won't when it happens to you again when it comes back around, because everything in life, and I love it in the football sense, everything comes back in full circle. So right now, the Bills have had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I believe so. During those times, the Bills are supposed to be able to learn how to run the ball, how to have better quick game concepts. Those things, when the Bills are up by, let's say, 3 touchdowns against a team, let's say the Ravens, for example, they won't be able to sustain that lead. They have to keep on scoring points, which gives the Ravens better opportunities to get a fumble, interception, sacks, stop the clock because of incompletions, aka the 2016 Falcons. Do I think the Bills are going to make the playoffs? I think the Bills are good enough to make the playoffs. But the Bills, the way that the teams have overhyped the Bills coming into this season, that is not, and that won't be the Buffalo Bills of 2021. This team that we see right now, a team that is very deep ball heavy, beat up on little teams, and looks like they're the best, that's the team that we're going to go into and see. I do think they could beat the Chiefs because of the whole, football is a very machismo sport. So because of the fact that they lost in the AFC Championship, because of the fact that they did beat them back in week 4, and the way that they look, if they fall into the playoffs and face the Chiefs the first round, I believe all those, external factors will help them in beating the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are a good team either, but that's a different story. I'll probably save that for another episode. But right now, I think the Bills are a good team, but they're not a Super Bowl contending team. Another team I do not think are Super Bowl contending. It is a Super Bowl contending team. Well, I do believe they're a Super Bowl contending team because they have Tom Brady. But the Bucs are not an elite team. The Bucs are a very good team, but they're not a great team. Once again, the Bucs defense is going to be the downfall of the Bucs. Their secondary is horrid. People could talk about the injuries and whatnot, but the healthiest that they were, week 1, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys torched them. Teams are able to torch the Buccaneers defense. Todd Bowles he's a defensive coordinator that loves to take chances in terms of blitzing, all these different exotic blitzes. But when you play an elite quarterback, a la Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray to a lesser degree a little bit, but I think Kyler Murray is gonna be in that class pretty soon. Once the communication happens within the pre-snap setting, easy to pick it up, and then you will be able to pick them apart. Now, the Bucks, Todd Bowles, they love getting in your face. They love playing that press man-to-man coverage. Now it's up to your receivers to see if they could get out of that, or the referees, depending on how the referees, officiate the game, you know. But because of Tom Brady, you have to say the Patriots are one of the favorites. I don't want to say the favorite, but they're one of the favorites in the NFC. Merely because of Tom Brady. You never bet on Tom Brady. But like I said, that defense is not looking that good. That defense had a 21-point lead. They allowed Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Even though Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills can be elite, they showed that today. As a defense that is supposed to be elite, all 22 guys that were part of that Super Bowl last season are on this roster. So 11 guys, the 11 starters on that roster defensively last year that won the Super Bowl, they're still there. So don't give me no type of nonsense about injuries and whatnot. They're still there. That unit should be even better. They should have been even better. But even since day one, I saw the cracks. And just like I said, some things that you don't really harp on, because you're winning, you're having a lot of success, they will come back to bite you in the ass. And I feel like that's gonna happen to the Bucks. Do I know when it's gonna happen to the Bucks? Not really, but we're gonna see. That's gonna be the storyline going in. The defense will end up costing the Bucks a game. I used to think that because the running game also would be a problem, but with Leonard Fournette, he's having a rejuvenated career. That I don't believe that's a question, but that defense will be a question going forward. So another game I wanted to talk about briefly. I wanted to talk about the Washington football team going up against the Dallas Cowboys. For the mere fact, I haven't been here for a while, guys, so you guys haven't heard my takes and whatnot. About, I want to say 2-3 weeks ago, I think prior to maybe a week before Thanksgiving, I was talking to my brother. I said, I believe right now, but before saying that, I want to say this year, the NFL, unfortunately this year, the NFL, because the reason why I'm saying unfortunately is because my Giants aren't a part of this conversation. But for the first time in a pretty long time, there is no overall great team in the NFL. Last year, for maybe the first 10, 11 weeks, you could say, oh, it was the Steelers, it was the Bucks, it was the Chiefs. Years prior, it was the Seahawks. All that stuff, right? You could have said that. This year, who is the best team in the NFL? The Chiefs, not really. They haven't been looking really good. The Bills, I just talked about them. Those expectations, when it comes to reality, it's not looking too good. The Bucks, not really. The Cardinals, a lot of people don't believe them as that. I tell my brother, the Cardinals are the equivalent to the Utah Jazz. Great regular season, but do you really trust them to make noise in the playoffs? Not really. But you never know. You never know. So, but prior to Thanksgiving, I said I think the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers are the best teams in the NFL. As I'm recording this, as I'm recording this, hold on, give me a second. As I'm recording this, the Packers are down against the Chicago Bears. A score of 27, a score of 27-21 at halftime, actually. But at this moment, I still believe the two best teams in the NFL are the Cowboys and the Packers. Tomorrow, the Arizona Cardinals have a lot to teach me, have a lot to show me, prove to me. Whether they win or lose, I'm gonna watch that game closely, and maybe I might put them in that tier. But I think they're a tier below. I think the three best teams in the NFL at this moment is the Packers, the Cowboys, and I don't know. To be honest, I'm gonna say this: the four best teams in the NFL: Packers, Cowboys, the Colts, and the New England Patriots. Those are my four teams that if I was forced to say, if someone was forced to say to me, Gerald, who are the four best teams in the NFL right now? Those would be the four best teams in the NFL to me. The Cowboys today played the Washington football team, a rivalry game, and they narrowly escaped by a score of, I believe it was 27-20. The Cowboys, like I said, the Cowboys are one of the best teams in the NFL. But do I trust the Dallas Cowboys? No, I do not. They have had lows, including the Thanksgiving game to the Las Vegas Raiders, a game that they shouldn't have lost. Penalties and all that stuff aside, you shouldn't have lost that game to the Raiders. The Raiders, I could go hours on how bad the Raiders are right now. Washington today, you guys were up. I believe the score was 21-0. Football's a long and drawn out game. I understand that. But to be taken seriously as one of the best teams, not just ESPN or Fox Sports just say you're the best team. You have to go out there and prove it. When people like myself, I should say, actually watching the games and not putting any credence on pressers or headlines and stuff, I'm looking at you to see why are these people saying you're the best team? And if you don't prove it to me, I'm not gonna anoint you as the best team. Everybody's saying the Bucks are the best team. I'm not convinced the Bucks are the best team. I see what the Packers are capable of doing. They're not being called the best team in the NFL. I see what the Cowboys are doing, and I'm very hesitant to say the Cowboys are the best team. I think they are, but I'm very hesitant in saying that they are. Because you're up 21-0 against the Washington football team, a division rival that's really on your ass in division leading standings. If the football team were to win this game, the whole dynamic, the last 3 weeks, we're going to change. The last 3 weeks, including this game, the last 4 weeks of the season, the Washington football team was playing all division games. They played the Cowboys today. They got the Eagles. They played the Cowboys again, and then it was going to be the Giants. Or I believe they played the Eagles twice, maybe. I don't know. Regardless, right? It was all division games, and then everybody knows if at the end of the day they end up tied, you go to the head-to-heads. Washington. If Washington goes 4-0, they would have beat the Cowboys twice. And then after that, they would end up having the better division record. Games like this game, where you have a riding hot Washington football team, no matter what I think about the Washington football team, I'm not being biased or anything. You're supposed to go in as a team that's supposed to be, you guys, I believe the Cowboys know that they should be heads above everybody else. You should go into that game, especially in Washington, in Landover, Maryland. Is it still called the FedEx Field? I really don't know. But regardless, in the FedEx Field, and saying, nah, you guys are not on our levels, and you're supposed to handily beat the Washington football team. Just to prove a statement, just to show the NFL world we are the best team. Nobody wants to have. I guess at the end of the day, the best team is the one holding the Lombardi Trophy. That's safe to say, right? But on that road to the Lombardi Trophy, teams need to show other teams, need to put an ounce of fear into other teams. You gain respect from fear, or that's what they say. And today, I think the first half people feared the Cowboys, but then towards the end of the game, seeing the final score, people are like, the Cowboys can't get beat. And the same thing with the Packers at the moment. Like I said, it's halftime. The third quarter is starting. The Packers are down 27-21. It's a rivalry game. We understand that. But you are supposed to dominate in this position. The Washington is not on the Cowboys level. The Bears are not on the Packers level. Take a page out of what the Chiefs did. Take a page out of what the Chiefs did. You see what the Chiefs did to the Raiders today. A team that, thinking that they're on the Chiefs level, the Chiefs are like, nah, you guys aren't on our level. Plus the whole, having their speech and jumping on their symbol at the beginning of the game didn't help. But that's a thorough beating that the Packers and the Cowboys are supposed to be giving out. I don't know how much I trust the Cowboys, but like I said, the eye test, I always go by eye test. The eye test says the Cowboys, the Packers, the Colts, and the Patriots are the best team in the NFL. But every time I say that, I always get beat up. On the bright side, the Patriots play the Colts next week on Saturday night. So I will be one of my teams that I say the best team is supposed to win, or it might just end up in a tie. Okay? So now, I wanted to do this. So right now, there's a lot of mess in the NFL. There's no clear-cut teams. There's teams kind of getting out the race, establishing themselves as their elite. But then you still have a clump of teams that don't know, you don't know what they are from week to week. So I have 10 teams from the AFC. I'm gonna order them from the worst team to the best team. Okay? So right now, the worst team in this little AFC bubble that are alive, I should say, teams that are in the hunt, or they probably have a playoff spot right now, but they're still in that bubble of in the hunt. They can get out the playoffs at any second. So right now, I have the Raiders as the 10th team. The Raiders are not good. The Raiders haven't been good for a while. They showed a flash on Thanksgiving Day where you started questioning, maybe the Raiders can make some noise. But the Chiefs, the two Chiefs games, the Washington football team last week, the Raiders once again have collapsed. So do not expect nothing from the Raiders. They have a big game next week against the Browns. I don't think at the end of it it's gonna even matter if they do win the game. I don't think they're gonna win, but the Raiders are not good. The number 9, so above the Raiders, so at number 9, I would say I would go with the Broncos at number 9. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater. They had a perfect opportunity last week against the Kansas City Chiefs to show me that they're for real. The defense was showing me something, but the offense not really. Number 8, the Dolphins. The Dolphins have been on fire right now. The only reason why they're still not on fire, they're cooling down, is because they have the bye. Winners of 6 straight, 6 straight or 7 or 5 straight. Well, they started 1-7. They're now 6-7. They can make some noise, but a lot of things had to go in their favor. I don't see them going anywhere, but it'll be a good story. So now it's where it gets interesting. I will personally put the Baltimore Ravens at 6, the Steelers at 5. So right now, if you guys are with me, I have the Raiders at 10, the Broncos at my bad, hold on. So Raiders at 10, Broncos at 9, Dolphins at 8, Ravens at 7, Pittsburgh at 6. I have the Ravens at 7. It's Lamar or bust. It's Lamar or bust. Yes, they kind of made some noise in the end against the Browns today. I'm going to talk about a little bit in a moment. But that defense is hard. So something I've realized about football fans, right? A team has, depending on how long you've been watching the sport, you understand identities of a team. So if I close my eyes right now and I think of Baltimore, I think of Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, the defense, just smash mouth football. The Steelers too. I think of James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, Larry Foote, all those guys, Lawrence Timmons. I think of that, the Steel Curtain. But sometimes you need to open your eyes out of that and look at the team that's right in front of you. The Ravens ain't about no defense no more. The Steelers ain't about nothing anymore. They're just the Steelers. The Ravens are the same. I just think I've seen, and this is no insult to John Harbaugh. I don't know. No, there's no disrespect to him, but I've seen Mike Tomlin make Delvin Hodges and Mason Rudolph be about a game and a half away from making it to the playoffs. They have Ben Roethlisberger, even at his current state right now, is a better quarterback than Hodges and Mason Rudolph put together. They may be able to slip in. That's the reason why I have them a little bit. And then also, I saw them last week. They looked good last week. This Thursday, they didn't look too bad, but I don't know. I think the Steelers are a little bit better than the Ravens. So I had the Ravens 7, the Steelers 6. My 5th team, I have the Chargers. Yes, the Chargers beat up on my Giants. I'll talk about the Giants a little later to end the show. But I just don't trust the Chargers. I don't trust San Diego. I'm going to say I don't trust the San Diego Chargers. They're still the San Diego Chargers to me. Until they become the Los Angeles Chargers and actually win and like you feel good about them. I don't even feel like Chargers fans feel good about the Chargers. Yes, you have Justin Herbert, who I believe is really good. I don't think he's in that elite category like people are trying to anoint him as. I think he's really good. But there's just too many variables with that team. Offensively, they're good, but they're inconsistent offensively. Defensively, can't stop the run. Corners leaving, they're getting hurt left and right. I don't know what to say about that team, except Justin Herbert is a great player. Good, really good player. I'm not going to say great yet. Really good player. So I have the Chargers at 5. I have the Bills at 4. Well, no. I have the Browns at 4. My reason being, I think the Browns have a good defense, but the defense for some reason can't close. They can't win games solely on their defense. Have they? Yeah, but the competition wasn't that good. Now, when competition gets good, will their defense be able to step it up in key moments? This is the second time. And just like I said, you're winning, so it doesn't look as a big deal. But it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. Game against the Chargers. They were beating up the Chargers by, I believe, like 2 touchdowns or something like that. With 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Chargers ended up in a very high-scoring game to beat the Browns. The defense, whatever you want to say about Baker Mayfield and the offense, the defense is put on the field to stop the opposing team from scoring. Those guys allowed the Chargers to score and score and score until the game was over. Same thing today. You had them down 24-3, I believe, at most. You're supposed to protect that lead. Yes, the offense was supposed to help you guys out and pounding the rock and all that stuff. But you had them 24-3. An elite defense, maybe I'm too harsh on elite defenses, maybe because that's hard to do, with the rules and all that stuff. Referees are very lenient towards offenses, so maybe it can't be done. But you're up 24-3, you're supposed to be an elite defense, you're supposed to keep that score. At most, you give up one more touchdown, you end the game 24-10. Okay? So I have them at 4. The Bills, I already talked about the Bills enough today. I have the Bills at 3. I have the Colts at 2. No, I don't have the Colts. I have the Colts at 1. So that means the second best team in the AFC, in that little bubble area I'm talking about, are the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to win the AFC North. It's going to be tough. They have Denver, I believe. They play the Ravens again, and I think they finish off with the Browns. So those 2 last games is going to be very important for the Bengals. I try to get into the Bengals every time, but the Bengals always show me that they're very inexperienced and they're not ready yet to take that step at the moment. But the Bengals' future is very bright. I have the Colts. There's a lot of things I could talk about with the Colts. Maybe this week, actually, I'll dive deeper into the Saturday night game and talk about the Colts and the Patriots. So there's that. And at the end of the day, what the Colts have? A running game and a good defense. Doesn't have to be elite. It'd be good enough. Now in the NFC, it's a little, it's not as jumbled up as the AFC. So I have about 2. I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna be a little bit quicker with the NFC. The Panthers and the Falcons not making the playoffs. Panthers, I don't know what the other Panthers are doing. I'm rooting for Cam, but I don't know. The Falcons are a good team. They're playing hard. Arthur Smith should be happy about what's going on. Matt Ryan, they need to find a succession plan for Matt Ryan. And that's really all I gotta say. Cordell Patterson, I'm mad at Cordell Patterson because I picked up Mike Davis in fantasy. And there's that. So now here's the nitty-gritty. The Rams are gonna keep that fifth slot for the most part. Unless some crazy thing happens tomorrow and then they have a chance to win the division. So it's down to the Washington football team, the Eagles. Oh, no, another team that's not going to make the playoffs is the Saints. The Saints, they play hard, but the Saints ain't going nowhere. Too many injuries. Jameis Winston injury is actually very significant. Taysom Hill is a good backup quarterback, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback. And Trevor Siemian, he is what he is. So now it gets tough. So like I said, I have the Rams at the 5th seed. So you have 2 more spots. The 49ers could make it, and I believe the 49ers will make it. But the question is Jimmy Garoppolo, to be honest. It's something, I'm a Jimmy G guy, but sometimes I watch Jimmy Garoppolo and I'm like, I cringe a little bit because I don't know, man. I just cringe. I just cringe because there's some things that I'm like, what is he looking at? What is he doing? And that's a good behind team. A really good behind team. And that team is predicated on the quarterback not doing much. The quarterback just has to make 4 or 5 throws. I don't know. But I didn't get the second spot. So theoretically it'll be the Rams at 5, the 49ers at 6. The Vikings should be my 7th team. The Vikings should be my 7th team. But I don't trust the Vikings at all. The same thing I was talking about with the Browns. Same thing I was talking about with the Cowboys. You were up 29-9. And literally you brought the viewers back in for basically an end of game. Thank God you guys have Harrison Smith because Fryerman did catch the ball. Harrison Smith did a great job knocking the ball away on Thursday. I want to say the Vikings, but I think it's gonna come down to either the Washington football team and the Eagles. And I don't think the Washington football team is that good as people say they are. So as painful as it is to say, I think that the Eagles sneak in backdoor their way into the playoffs. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right. I'm gonna stop giving the Eagles praise. So let's talk about let's go on to my last topic. So I'm just gonna close my book, take off my glasses so you guys know it's serious, and let's talk the New York Giants. Did I watch today's game? Not really. I kind of, I changed the channel, try to look at them. It's the same thing I did with the Knicks earlier today too. The Giants are wasting talent right now. I don't know if Joe Judge really does need to get fired. Maybe I'm very emotional at this time when it comes to this topic. Joe Judge needs to figure out to hire a guy for timeouts. I like Daniel Jones. I love Daniel Jones. He's my quarterback. I'll fight for Daniel Jones. But one thing, Danny, I can't accept from you. I can't accept from you no more is this injury stuff that you have. I understand our team is not great, but I need you to be in games more. You have not finished a full season. I need you to finish a full season. The quarterback you replaced did not miss games. He did not miss no games. I need you to be in that realm. And especially you're missing games down the stretch. That is terrible. Kenny Golladay, I do not want to hear another report about Kenny Golladay wanting the ball. Because whenever Kenny Golladay wants the ball, this man has about 4 or 5 drops in the game. I believe that probably was the worst decision the Giants made. And the thing is, I approved the decision. I like that decision a lot. With Kenny Golladay, I don't know what you got to do, but catch the ball. Before you say anything, before you start screaming at Daniel Jones, freaking catch the ball, all right? Saquon, I think Saquon is kind of in his head. He's kind of in his head when it comes to running the ball because I think next year he'll be better. And plus, the offensive line has to be better. I like Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is good. Nate Solder keeps on strengthening the position that I believe 99% of us have, that Tom Brady's the GOAT. I believe Tom Brady is the GOAT because of the stuff that he's done on the field, the accolades that he has. But more importantly, I believe Tom Brady is the GOAT because I don't know how this guy won a freaking Super Bowl 49, with this man as his blindside tackle. That man is garbage, man. And I knew we made a mistake getting him for that money. He's robbing the Giants. He was robbing the Giants. I believe Jerry Reese signed him, or it could have been Dave Gettleman too. Dave Gettleman got to go. But the question is, who do we get? As you can tell right now, guys, I'm a little frustrated at this topic. Also, I am not watching the Giants game until Daniel Jones is our quarterback. I am not gonna sit there again and watch a whole game with Mike Glennon. The stats might be a little cute. He had 3 touchdowns, an interception, all that stuff, but that man is garbage. We were supposed to beat the freaking Miami Dolphins. 3 touchdowns we had last week. 3 touchdowns. We had the Evan Ingram wide open. We had 2 just ball placement. I know you're getting rushed, but you still got to understand. One of the biggest things in football I've learned, even if you're a pocket passer, you still should be able to throw the ball not set. I seen Eli do that. Peyton's done that. Tom Brady does that. And it's all beautiful. Mike Glennon should not be a quarterback in the NFL. Not on my team. F out of here. Not on my team. He should be coaching some high school team in Central Illinois, in Iowa, something like that. But do not be the quarterback for the New York Giants anymore. I am not supporting that. Oh my God. Thank God we have 2 picks. I really hope what happens to us. And also when Kadarius Toney comes out of his injuries sabbatical, give him the ball. Give him the ball. I really hope Freddie Kitchens stays the offensive coordinator because I don't want Dan Jones to go to have the Alex Smith type of thing where he's having 4 or 5 offensive coordinators. He's having 4 or 5 offensive coordinators during in his first 6-7 seasons. I do not want that to happen. We also need a pass rusher, but I love the defense. I like defense a lot. We do need a guy like a ball hawks corner because I feel Bradbury and Adoree Jackson are very solid in terms of like they're not going to give up. They're not going to blow coverages. They're not going to give up explosive plays. They'll be there to tackle. That's about it. The defense is good though, but we need. I like the guy from Georgia. Lorenzo Carter hasn't been coming on. It could be because of the Achilles injury. Maybe next year. I'm sick and tired of waiting until next year. And then even with Daniel Jones, you're my quarterback. But if Deshaun Watson, his situation is over, Giants, do whatever you want. Do whatever you can. Not want. Do whatever you can. Trade away those 2 picks, those back-to-back picks, and get Deshaun Watson. That's all I want for Christmas. That Deshaun Watson is cleared of all charges with that whole situation. I'm not gonna comment on that, but he's clear of all charges and he comes to the New York Giants. That's all I want for Christmas, man. The Giants are very, man. I think I'm just gonna end the show like that. I don't even want to say what you think, but you guys know the saying, man. I'm just trying to start the conversation. This is Gerald Cadet. It's the corner store. Hopefully I'm back. I need to go see a therapist or something because the Giants just give me, and the Knicks too. I like the Knicks. I have an NBA preview coming up for you guys. I know the NBA's been about 2 months, but trust me, the real season's about to start at Christmas. But yeah, I got nothing else to say, guys. Take care of yourselves. All that other good stuff. This is Joe Cadet. I'm just trying to start the conversation. I'm out.